be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Glory to you, O Lord. At that time, when Jesus came to the other side of the sea, to the country of the Gadarenes, 2 demoniacs met him coming out of the tombs, so fierce that no one could pass that way. And behold, they cried out, "What have you to do with us, O Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" Now a herd of many swine was feeding at some distance from them, and the demons begged him, "If you cast us out, send us away into the herd of swine." And he said to them, "Go." And so they came out and went into the swine, and behold, the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea and perished in the waters. The herdsmen fled, and going into the city they told everything and what had happened to the demoniacs. And behold, all the city came out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave their neighborhood. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
In our first reading, we have what is to our ears shocking, the sending out of Hagar and her son from the camp of Abraham. I think we have to remember that the patriarchs and the founding people of the Jewish nation weren't saints. They were ordinary people. What makes them remarkable is not how similar they were to the people around them, but those points in which they differed. And the most important point is Abraham's faith and cleaving to God. Hagar, the Egyptian woman, was a slave, and she bore a son to Abraham because it looked like Sarah wouldn't have a child. And now there's this worry about succession. It's the thing that drives many plots of novels about early times, about kings and queens. It, in reality, drove a lot of the history of the world. Fights over who is going to be the next king, who is going to be the next patriarch of a group of people. The two things to notice here are this: that God shows compassion to Hagar and her son and promises them that they will also become a nation. And Abraham, despite listening to Sarah and driving Hagar out, shows some compassion, something that makes him different from the people around. After all, the way he sends Hagar out is exactly the same way that everybody else did divorce in Abraham's time. That was the norm. You just told her, "I no longer want you in my household." It was very, very simple and very cruel and horrendous. But Abraham gives her some food for the journey and obviously is distressed about it. So you see a little bit of a difference, and God shows compassion and promises that the son will be looked after as well. And what we see in the gospel is exactly that. Jesus is going to the land of the Gentiles. He reaches out. The area of the Gadarenes is the other side of the sea. It's the Decapolis region where there were 10 cities, and it was mostly a Gentile area. How do we know it's a Gentile area without even knowing any of the history? Because there's pigs there. There would be no pigs at all in Israel at all. So this is definitely a Gentile area. This is in fact the area of Hagar and her son, as it were. Jesus heals the two demoniacs, and the demons ask to go into the swine and are driven into the sea. There's something going on behind this that readers of the time would have picked up. It's not very important, but it's quite interesting. In one of the other Gospels, of course, Jesus asks the name of the demon, and the demon says his name is Legion. Now, in that area, the area of the Gadarenes, and also on the side of Caesarea and Capernaum, the Roman legion that was the police force of the area, their standard was, instead of an eagle like so many Roman legions, their standard was in fact the head of a wild pig, a boar. So in a sense, what the gospel writers are noticing is not just the sending of the pigs into the sea, but it is saying that Christ has power even over the Roman legions. Just think about that. There's an interesting little undertone that's going on there. What's important in the gospel today is that Abraham is open to the promptings of faith. He is open to the encounter with God, and his heart has been softened. These Gentiles are just so frightened and completely they don't understand. The word that comes to mind is discombobulated, but that doesn't really help. You know, they're just confused and frightened, and they don't know how to respond to this experience of God at work. And so they ask Jesus to leave. So Abraham, with all his faults, is prepared to grow in the encounter with God. The people who've just lost their entire herd of pigs are not prepared to see God at work. Are we always open to where God points?